Okay, we are here, everybody. Hello. It is me, the Dave Van Cowgirl, with
Hello, you've never seen me before. It's Kevin. I've never been on this channel. I don't know where I am. I kind of just ended up on here, and I was sent a random StreamYard link, and I was told you should probably join this. And I was like, I don't know who you are, but I joined it anyway. So hello.
Wow, that's emotional. Yes, so we're finally here. It is midnight over here on the East Coast.
Yes.
But we're up. This is like the only time I have to do this.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna go right ahead and do it. We're live on my channel. We're also live on Kevin's channel. And so yeah. Okay, Kevin. Is there anything you want to say before we jump into it?
Yeah, I think that this was something that, we both were super excited for. It's kind of crazy that it's been 3 years since we talked about the
I
last
know.
weekend concert. It feels like that was like
Yeah.
not that long ago. Well, it's not exactly 3 years. That was like July. This is June, but like you get what I mean. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy that it's been that long because I feel like we were literally just here talking about the first After Hours Till Dawn and just how incredible of an experience that was. And now we're here at the end of it, and like, my God, I mean, we'll get to it, but what a fucking concert! Like, generally, the first one we went to was great, but this one was like a whole other experience, and I'm so excited to get to talk about it and have a nice in-depth discussion. I'm glad that we were able to finally get this done because I've been very excited to get to talk about the concert and whatnot.
Yeah, no, Kevin and I, we went to this concert almost 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But as you're saying right here already, um, we're gonna get something right out of the way to all my viewers here on any channel. I am sick right now because I got sick from this concert and I'm still sick. I have no idea how this happened. I won't like ramble for too long about it. But I got both strep throat and pink eye from this concert. And I am still struggling with both of those things. I am almost on the way out, thankfully, which
The
is
things we
good.
the things we do for Abel.
Yeah,
Or the
which is
things you
which
do
is
for Abel specifically.
yeah, no, it's kind of interesting because I always joked with all my friends and my family, because a very random fun fact on me, the first time I got COVID was when I was front row for Kendrick Lamar's The Big Steppers tour almost 3 years
Yeah.
ago. I got COVID from that show, and I always joked being like, COVID sucked, but like I got to see Kendrick live, so I guess it was worth it, in a kind of funny kind of way. This though, like, has been even worse because I'm still sick. COVID was like 5 days long. Dog, it's been almost 14 days. I am still sick. But it's okay, as you can hear me coughing. But we need to get this done. Because Death Stranding 2 comes out tomorrow, and my channel is just gonna be Death Stranding 2 stuff for like a week or two. So we just need to get this done finally. So we're gonna persevere through it. I'm in my pajamas. I got no makeup on, but we're doing this anyways, because I'm going to sleep right after this. But it's okay. We got the set list and everything. So Kevin, let's get into this. Anyone's watching this live, thank you so much. Okay, Kevin. Here we go. The Weekend, we're back. After Hours Till Dawn, 2025 edition. This time,
They're
Gillette
back.
Stadium, Kevin.
Yes.
You went all the way to Massachusetts this time. I didn't go to your
Okay.
neck of the woods this time.
That's it.
Just get into your expectations and stuff, and you ramble, pre-ramble. Just go off.
Yeah, I mean, I think, coming off the heels of the last tour, I mean, my expectations were fairly high for this one. I talked about the fact in that tour that I lauded a lot of the, like, lighting he did and the different, like, production design. I really like the way he incorporated, like, the, like, cult and dancers and things like that. I thought that was really cool. The way he was able to kind of cycle through, like, new stuff versus old stuff, I thought was really great. The way that he did that, I really like the way everything was like designed. But knowing that this was going to be the last Weekend concert, allegedly, unless he like surprises us and comes back with more Weekend music, which I know is like a rumor that you told me about. But unless that happens, this is kind of the end. And so I was really hoping that like this would feel like this feels like the most definitive conclusion, because I think Hurry Up Tomorrow is a fantastic album. The movie, not so much. There's a reason we did not do a spoiler discussion video for that.
Well, I was also sick during that time.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I've been going through a lot of stuff recently. I can't even lie, but it's okay.
She's been having a great month. I don't know what she's talking about.
Oh God, yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, not a huge fan of that movie, but the album in particular, I think just does an incredible job of just tying together all the themes of the previous albums and really giving us a sense of like what Abel has really been trying to do all this time, the story that he's been trying to tell, and him finally like coming to the realization and like facing his inner demons and things like that. So I was really excited to see in visual form how that was all going to go, and the fact that this is like a whole hour longer than the last concert we went to. This one, you know, he went all out. It was like 2.5 hours, and so I was like really excited to see what he was going to bring to the table, how he was going to incorporate everything, how exactly, you know, he was going to wrap up everything that he's been trying to do. And my God, I mean, it was honestly even better than I could have expected. I think this was just such an incredible experience for multiple reasons, but I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed the entire concert. I thought that, you know, it just did a really good job of just reminding us of what Abel does best, but also kind of feeling like this sort of highlight greatest hits kind of thing of like kind of him, you know, him kind of referencing like older stuff he's done and tying that back in with the new stuff. I thought the way he did that was just so seamlessly handled, and just in general, it was a great time. I do want to quickly talk about Gillette Stadium real quick, because there was something really cool he did this time around, and I thought that it was just at this venue, but it turns out he's done this everywhere else. So compared to MetLife, which, you know, was a really great experience, it was a lot more enclosed, and it felt like it wasn't as grand. Gillette Stadium is fucking huge. There's like food courts, there's like all this stuff everywhere, and it just felt like it was that much more of a experience, and I just loved every single second of it. But the one thing I do want to point out real quick is the use of the Jumbotron. I thought was honestly pretty genius, the way that he ended up doing that, because often, yes, in concerts, like you'll have people come out and like you're like, where the fuck did they go? I can't see anything. I don't know what's happening. So I thought it was really cool the way that he, you know, incorporated this Jumbotron to where even if he's not on a side of the stage where you can see him, you're still able to see what's going on the entire time. The way he incorporated like the audience footage, like all of it was just chef's kiss. I thought it was just such a brilliant decision, and I thought it worked really well. Like, not just because, oh, you have a Jumbotron, you get to see the audience, but from an aesthetics perspective, I thought it also really worked out. So yeah, just in general, I thought it was an incredible experience.
Absolutely, absolutely. And let's thank you for watching and tuning in live. Thank you to everyone else watching live. And so yeah, no, I we're gonna power through this, Kevin, I promise you. But yeah,
are you sure about that?
We gotta show, so we gotta get this done finally. So we're doing this. Yeah, no, I agree with like everything you said. I kind of want to jump into one thing you said first, but my first opinion about this like version of the tour, 2025 version of the tour. Because, you know, I went twice 2022. You know, I went first time with you at MetLife Stadium, then I went a second time with the Gillette Stadium show. We didn't do MetLife Stadium this time around, just because like I'm just gonna keep it for real with everybody. Like with the 3 dates, like I was like, I don't know which one I want to do more. And like, of course, like it was gonna be even more expensive than 2022. So I was like, you know what?
And
like,
also because of how much you absolutely love the American Dream Mall. I know that's like that was your favorite.
Oh my God, y'all, okay, you know what, Kevin? For 30-second ramble. Before I went to MetLife Stadium for that show, it was 3 years ago, which is crazy. Kevin brought me to the American Dream Mall. Never again. Never again. Oh my God. that was terrible. Oh my goodness.
You didn't love that there were just people everywhere?
It was just because like that night and day I pushed myself so out of my comfort zone. With like how I was appearing and just everything else, and like just being around like so many people and that enclosed of a space, because in a stadium, you know, it's like it's huge, you know, and open, like that was like crammed, and I was like, meh. So you know, I wasn't vibing with that. But yeah, no. So I was interested in how this I'm gonna go this time around, you know, because I'm only doing one time and it's just at Gillette, and we did night 1 at Gillette. And I gotta say the biggest improvement to me is the screen. That's the biggest. One of my only issues, 2022 version of the tour, is that I liked what they did with like all the city, like the sky, you know, type stuff, on the visuals on the screen. But when we specifically went to MetLife, where we were, the little screen they had, of Abel, like we couldn't see it. So like
Yeah,
like I just
and we because like to give you a like a visual perspective, we're here, the concert's here, the screen is like all the way over here. So like,
yes,
yeah,
yes, but
we're
it was
kind
like
of
tucked in like
staring
the
at it.
corner.
We're kind of
Yeah.
staring at it like this the entire time, and
we barely we,
it's
we
not
could
really
barely
working out.
see it.
Yeah,
And so like, when I went to Gillette, I was second row for Gillette, so like it wasn't like, an issue for me then.
yeah,
But of course, like I still though was like, man, like I hope he improves this next time. Because when I went to the Renaissance tour for Beyonce 2 years ago, she did like a bunch of visual stuff on screen, but she also showed herself on screen like half the
mhm,
time. So it was like easy, to make out everything and stuff like that. And so I was really happy he did that for this. There's a few visual pieces here and there. But it's mainly like him on the screen. Also, there's more of the tiny screens for at the stadium now.
yeah,
So it's like easier to see. And so that was like, I would say, like the biggest improvement in terms of changes that they've
oh
made.
yeah,
And so to kind of jump into, my thoughts on everything. This was quite an experience,
yeah,
to put it lightly. There were a lot of emotions going into this time around, because like Kevin, this was something that we were saying also to our friend Film Fan of 599 that we went with.
yes,
Because we went with me, you, Film Fan of 9, and then my mom and my Grammy to this. And something that we were all talking about, like all of us, was just like how different things are, than they were in 2022. Like so much has changed, like, not just for Abel, but like, just, for us, our own experience, like so much is different, um, so much. And I just was like so interested in just how the experience, would be this time around. And I don't have a preference, in all honesty, of which one I liked more, the 2022 or 2025 one, because they're very different, in all
oh yeah,
honesty.
oh yeah,
Like they have like some similarities, of course, but like the vibe and the atmosphere were different.
yeah,
Um,
I agree.
like the 2022 one was very like, I would say like sleek in a way, and had a more of like a polished sort of like feel to
Yeah.
everything. This one was more
And
about
it
sort
felt
of,
a lot more like it was a lot more like breakneck, like especially because of how short it like the shorter the concert was.
yeah, this one like feels a bit more
Brand, yeah.
I don't know how to like describe. It just felt a bit more like it had a bit more of like a rawness to the performance in a way.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, just the feeling of it was so different. But I mean you're going from touring Donna, because like listen, like it was a Donna FM tour, just told you that was a Donna FM tour, besides the moon. And now we're doing basically a Hurry Up Tomorrow tour, basically. Very very different albums, of course.
Oh yeah.
And so like it kind of fit the vibe of both albums and chapters pretty perfectly.
Yeah.
um so I don't have a preference, but obviously I think it goes maybe a little bit saying that I loved it. It was amazing. I was going insane the show. I did cry at one point, as Violet does.
Must be
And
one part.
yeah, it was just great. And so yeah, no, it was great. And so do you want to get anything specific first? Like, do you want to talk about merch first before we get into anything else?
Yeah, we can talk about merch real quick. I got the EXO hat that I'm repping, and I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know what the fuck happened to my other hat that I got from the
Yeah.
previous concert, but at least I
Yeah.
have this one, so that's cool. I like the shirt and things like that. I will say I think the design for After Hours I like a little bit more, but this one's still pretty cool. In the way that it was like put together. Rest of the merch, we got like a camera, we got like a poster.
Yeah, no, because do you have it? I'm gonna show, but do you have any of the VIP merch? Because also we were
Yes.
VIP. That's something we should.
Yes,
probably
I do want to mention. I do want to mention the lanyard real quick. I think is really cool. Although I will warn you right now, be very careful with this because it's already peeling. So that's
really?
yeah. Look, it's literally like the back of this is already.
Oh,
yeah.
that's not good.
So yeah, I thought the lanyard was really cool. I thought he had this really
right.
cool thing that would have been nice for me to use. My dumbass who like records everything should have implemented this camera that he gave
Yeah,
everybody.
it's a
Um,
35 millimeter camera, so you would have needed the film.
Yeah, so there
Yeah.
was that, and then he had the wristbands as well. I don't know where that ended up going, but yeah, I thought
Batman. Yeah.
the use of the wristbands I thought was a lot more effective this time around. I remember in After Hours, it
Yes.
only lit up at like certain points. This one it lit up like basically the entire show, and I thought it was really
I
cool.
only remember it lighting up for Less Than Zero and Blinding Lights. I don't remember it lighting up for any other song in all
No, it
honesty.
was there were moments where it was like flashing.
Yeah, it might have been. I don't really remember. But for most of the songs, like this thing was on this time. And also it's a bit different this time. I actually have both of my wristbands. I should have brought them out. Test 22. It was just
Oh,
like
my other
a
one broke.
damn, that's not, it was like a plastic. It kind of was sort of like the
Hold on.
not the same material, but it was kind of similar to sort of like Apple Watches in a way with like that sort of like silicone kind of feel to it. This time around it's sort of like a like ribbon kind of style thing that has like After Our Salon tour, the Weekend, stuff like that. And you kind of like it kind of like comes like pre-wrap. Mine just like fell apart when I took it when I came up home. But yeah, no, but with the VIP thing, so we were just bronze VIP. There was like multiple tiers. We just did bronze. We sat, you and I, Kevin, and also our friend Philip and I, we were seventh row in like the lower hundreds. And the seats were like amazing
Yeah.
for it. Because like one thing about this tour is that I did do second row for the last one, and when I did the floor at Gillette. um, but I didn't want to do floor this time, because it was a lot more expensive. And
Yeah.
also I didn't know where to go with like having like the cross kind of design in the center.
Yeah.
So we just did lower hundreds, but yeah, so you did get like the VIP lanyard thing. Mine is fine in terms of, but
I don't know.
I don't
Maybe
know.
it's in my bag.
This is literally the first time I've even like touched it since the night of the concert, in all honesty,
Yeah.
too. So like I'll do something with it at some point. But yeah, no, but actually like a really nice lanyard.
Yeah, I like it
Like
a
it's
lot.
yeah, no, it's like actually like really, really nice. And so yeah, but then the other two things that we got in our bronze package is this disposable 35 millimeter camera. I believe it's 35 millimeter camera. And oh no, I just ripped this. That sucks. Anyways, y'all just saw that live on camera.
I told you it's delicate. You gotta be careful.
It's so delicate. Oh no. But I haven't took this out of the plastic yet, but it's like a really cute, like little like disposable like camera thing. And so yeah, oh, and I can't believe I ripped the box. That's actually really funny. And so yeah, and
Wow.
then this though, I gotta get a frame for this still.
Yeah.
But
I haven't looked at the poster yet.
I remember when I did After Us Dawn in 2022 and I did the Gillette show, the people in front of me are VIP. Um and they got a tour poster. And I was like, oh, I want a tour poster, but I can't get one. But now, y'all, we're so back, y'all. We are so back, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Beautiful. I need to get this framed. So it's great because
All I need is a Dawn FM one, because like I had the After Hours one that you gave me, and then I have that, and I don't have anything for Dawn FM, so I just need.
Yeah, I have so many Weekend posters. And I only have a few concert posters. And this one is definitely one of my favorites now. And so I'll get a frame for this eventually, and I'll figure out where to put it. I mean, in general, for my Weekend posters, I'm kind of trying to figure out what to actually do in general, because I'm actually planning on redesigning my bedroom a little bit. I think I'm gonna take both of my After Hours posters down and put something else up there. I'll leave my trilogy decks, I think, but I just want to do something a bit different. I think I put like the Sunriver banner back in here.
You're gonna put the posters up, and you're gonna hammer them into place. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. And so yeah, but then with the clothing, also, I know you mentioned it yourself. I wasn't entirely sure what I was gonna do. Because it was either I get like that jacket they had, or the jersey.
There was no fucking way I was getting that. Like, I like that design a lot. There was no way. It was like, it's crazy. I'm not.
It was expensive,
like,
and so it was either that or I get the jersey, or one of the T-shirts, the one that has with like the eye on the tour dates on the back. And I ended up like when I was at the booth I went to, I looked at the jacket. and I was like, I like it, but not for almost $300. Like, I
Yeah,
don't,
yeah.
it's not, I just didn't like it for that much. So I went the other option, route. Now, for some freaking reason, I don't know where it's somewhere in my house. I know I remember literally washing it. So I'm just being like a basket sale or something like that. But I cannot find the t-shirt. But I'll just turn off my camera for
Oh,
one
hello. What's
second.
up?
Yes, you are the star of the show, Kevin. Right. But the jersey, dude, this jersey is beautiful. Yeah, my lighting is not very good right now,
Yeah,
obviously, so
yeah,
you're
it
not
is
gonna be able
really
to like
cool.
see it like amazing. But this is like it's actually really nice, and the fit of it is like really nice too, for me at least. The weekend's merch can sometimes be a tiny bit like baggy on some people. But
Like this shirt, yeah.
for me, I've never had that issue too much. Except when he did like intentionally oversized for My Dear Melancholy. But this size, like the size I got, it's like perfect. And I love like the little like details here of like the stadium tag. I love the little just like design part here. Like I don't know, like the 1125, obviously I love that. The little after something, the 20, like I really like it. It's really nice. And this was by far the item I saw most people buying and wearing during the show.
Yeah.
Which I don't blame them. It's really, really nice. I've worn this a few times already. And yeah, I really like this. This is probably like one of my very favorite concert merch items I've ever gotten, in all honesty. And so yeah, I will say, Kevin, because I know we talked about this a lot in 2022. The merch this time around was better.
Yeah.
It was better. Because 2022, I wasn't, as we talked about, I wasn't like crazy about a lot of things. This time around though, it was good. And so yeah, so that's kind of what we
Although no
got.
no lollipops, so therefore it's not.
Bro, man, dude, that's the only reason I wish you did 5-year anniversary merch after
I
hours
know.
so we can
I
get
know.
those freaking lollipops back.
They're
And
so
so
good.
yeah, but all of the rambling out of the way, Kevin, it is
Yeah.
time to talk about the show
The show
itself.
itself, yes.
But Kevin, before we get to Abel, we must talk about our two opening acts. First up, we got Mike
Very,
motherfucking
very
Dean in
different
the
from one
flesh.
another.
Yep,
Yes.
Mike Dean in the flesh, baby.
Oh yeah.
Um, what did you think, Kevin, of Mike Dean? Because I got a lot to say. So you ramble first.
Yeah, this was great. I really enjoyed what he did in After Hours. I wasn't really familiar with his work at that point, so I remember like you were freaking out about Mike Dean. I'm like, who is Mike Dean? And then you finally like explained to me, and I was like, oh, okay. And then he performed his set in After Hours Till Dawn, and I was like, okay, I get it now. And like since then, I've like really made an effort to listen for his music, even stuff like The Idol, for example. I really like the music he did for that. That's one of the only times you'll hear me say anything positive about The Idol. But that's one of the times I will do that. Yeah, I mean, I loved this set a lot. I actually went and downloaded his whole, because he did his entire new album 425. I literally downloaded the whole thing on Apple Music the day after, because there was one. Francie was the song that I was looking for.
So
I was
good.
like, yeah, this goes really hard, and I wanted to find it immediately, and I was like furiously looking for it because I'm in a house with two other people, and so I can't really take the time to look for it myself. So I kind of have to like try to look for it as fast as I can, and I was finally able to find it. I was really excited about that because I thought that for me was probably the highlight in terms of the ones that he did. Although I do have to say, shout out to I do want to highlight the moments where like he took a break for a second, just for like a smoke break, and you literally saw like the steam in black and white and things like that. I thought that was like really funny, but also a really cool. I really like the way this was put together. I thought, talking about the Jumbotron again, the way they utilized it here, I thought was really cool. A lot of the time you just saw him playing the piano or like the saxophone. But then there were other times where it would cut to him and you would see, his face and things like that. I thought it was really well put together. I really enjoyed the set that he did. I think I actually liked it a little bit more than the last one. I don't really remember the last one that he did. This one stuck out to me a little bit more. And I thought overall, he did a really good job of like setting the tone for what this concert's going to be. It didn't feel like this was like super out of place, unlike another person we might be talking about in a little bit. I thought that this was really great. So I was a big fan.
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, like I think a lot of people who know me know, This, but just like synthesizer stuff and then like drum machine stuff. Like it just gets me going. It gets me
True.
going, and like that's like such an inspiration thing right there. Like I've dreamed of like performance stuff like that, where you just have a bunch of
Mhm.
synthesizers and like your MacBook and just like other instruments you might be using and playing and just doing everything entirely yourself. I don't know. I just find it so inspiring, and like electronic music is a favorite genre of music. And so just seeing it like his whole new album be performed, which is a great album, 425. It's really really good. I mean, I've been a big fan of that whole like series, because 423, and obviously there's other stuff like the other few that are also really good, but mainly for me what I really go back to a lot is like 423 and then 424. That is my favorite Mike Dean project right there. 424 is so good, from last year. Amazing amazing
I have
project.
to listen to that one.
It's really good. And there's a song in there called Distorted Time where Abel does some of like the key work on it. I think that's what the name of the song is called. Yeah, it's really good.
Okay.
um and so like
I know he's done one like every single year since like 2020. So
yeah, it's the series and stuff like that,
it's pretty cool.
and just seeing it all performed live is really cool. My favorite song on that album is Messenger, and that song that
That
comes
one's good too.
after it,
That
that
one's
one.
really good too.
Bro, that one was so good live. I was with my my friend film fan at the concert also, and I just was like, bro, this is crazy. And yeah, no, I really really loved it, and I'm with you. I think as this set, I will say I did like the set more than 2022. Because 2022, I really remember like his Starry Eyes remix a lot. What that was an
Oh yeah,
amazing
yeah.
moment. But besides that, this one had I just more of like it, like more of like it, like a atmosphere to it, and like a visual like simulation aspect
Yeah.
to it. And I just really
I
really
think that's
love
what it was too. Like the because the screen was so big, there was
it.
a really nice like visual component. So
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because I feel like I kind of started off with like sort of like this like sun like rising type like look,
yeah,
and then it like went into like just like the overhead image of him with all his synthesizers, there's like a saxophone and it was just super
yeah.
super cool and like the use of like looping,
Oh yeah.
and I don't know, I just thought it was just like amazing and just seeing how he just works those keys, dude. Like it's crazy, dude. Like that man is very talented at what he does. And so it was really, really great. I loved his outfit and everything. And yeah, no, it was great. 425 is a really good album. I recommend it. It was great seeing it live. Yeah,
Really
the
good
vibe
stuff.
of it was just really, really
Yeah.
cool.
Mhm.
And so yeah, but now, Kevin,
Yes.
now, my friend, let's talk about your favorite part of the whole night. Mr. Playboy Cardi. Kevin, just say whatever you want to say. I'm just gonna let you talk. Just go
All
off.
right. So here's the thing. Going into this, I wasn't really that excited. I've listened to a few I can't even say the name. Playboy Cardi. There we go. I've listened to a few Playboy Cardi songs, and I'm not a fan. Like it's very generic. Every song just kind of sounds the same to me. I don't really get like the hype. Like I'm cool that people like him and things like that, but like I'm just never really been that much of a fan. Timeless is probably like my least favorite track on her tour. I still like it. I still like it. It's just like I'm not on the level of some of the other ones to me. So yeah, I wasn't really that excited. That Good Credit song that we always talk about, that one I like a lot. But like other than that, I wasn't really feeling it. And here's what I'll say. The first couple songs, I was like, okay, I'm kind of liking this. Like, you got this guy who's like hyping him up. He's like, hey, everybody, welcome my friend Playboy Cardi, and it gave me like the vibes of that guy who was like freaking out over like Watch the Throne. I remember what his name, like the DJ, whatever. He's like, put your hand in the cash
Faster
register.
Flex, yeah.
Yeah. It was giving me the vibe of that, and I was like, okay, this guy's honestly like getting me really excited. He goes into the first couple songs, and I honestly was kind of feeling it. It was a completely different, I will say, like completely different energy from the rest of the concert. I don't think most of this fit in at all, especially him like nearly off the stage at one point. I thought was so fucking funny. Because he's just like sliding across the stage and doing a lot of bird calls and things like that. So it was all right. The first the first couple songs, I was kind of feeling it. That like, what is it? Talk Shit. That one, I think that one's pretty good.
Type shit. Oh, dude.
Type Shit. Yeah, that one I was kind of feeling. But I'm not gonna lie to you. Halfway through, I was really getting bored. I was like, okay, yeah, this is kind of what I expected it to be. I really wasn't feeling it, and I felt like it really just kind of dragged out after like the first couple songs. Every other song just kind of sounded the same to me. So
Yeah.
I can say that, like, I think he is good in. I think what I will say about Playboy Cardi, this is what I've come to the conclusion about. I think that he is an artist for me that is very good in smaller doses. If he, if he performs every so often, I kind of fuck with it. But like after a while, it's like I need to move on. I'm just not feeling this at all. So easily my least favorite part of the concert, although it was admittedly a little bit better than I was expecting.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that you feel that way. I thought it was fine. I mean, like I I was a pretty big fan of Whole Lotta Red when that came out, and at the end of
Yeah.
2020, I forgot 2021. I really liked that album a lot, which is interesting because I don't think it's bad. I just could never really get that into like the first album, which I think is subtitled if I remember correctly, and then Die Lit. I
Mhm.
could never really get into those two projects. Like they're not bad from what I
Yeah.
remember when I went to them. I couldn't really get into them. A Whole Lotta Red was very up my alley in terms of just how like industrial, like inspired some of like the synthesizer work was on it, and just like the use of like melody on that. And I don't know, I just really liked sort of like the vocal style and like inflections he was going for at that time, a lot. And I don't know, I vibed with it. Like Metamorphosis of Kid Cudi is one of my favorite songs of this decade. Like in all honesty, like I think that song is incredible. And that has like my favorite Play by Cardi verse like ever on that track. And but like this whole like music, I am music era. I just haven't really been into it in all honesty. I kind of feel like for me personally, with Cardi, I think Whole Lotta Red was kind of like the moment for me to kind of really get into him a lot.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Hmm.
I just haven't really gotten that much um into him.
Yeah.
And also part of that is admittedly also due to the fact that there's been some things that have come out about Playboy Cardi
Yeah.
since then that like
That's also
I have
yeah.
to be honest if people do affect how I feel about him. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie that like not every single person that I support and stuff like that. I know like not everyone's like an angel or whatever. I understand that.
Most are
But
not.
yeah, like in all honesty, yeah. But like is like some of those things though, I'm just like honestly like I don't, yeah, I don't need to be supporting all that.
Yeah.
But I will say, in terms of the performance and stuff like that, I thought it was fine. In all honesty, it fit a lot more than I thought it was going to because I thought it was going to feel really out of place. And like I kind of felt a little bad in all honesty the first few shows where I heard that like people were just like not into it or like he seemed like he was like out of place like that because I was
Yeah.
like, bro, it's such an undertaking to do a tour like in any kind of tour. And so just like going out there performing to like a crowd that like isn't maybe vibing with you when he could do a sellout arena tour like a heartbeat. Like I don't know, I just like kind of felt a little bad in a way. But so I'm kind of glad that like he clearly has been improving his
Oh, yeah.
performances.
And our crowd was like very much into it. I
Yeah,
mean,
our crowd was really into it.
there were
To
people
that.
who were wearing Playboy Cardi merch over like Weekend merch. Like there were people
Yeah.
who were there
Some
for
of the
him.
Cardi
And
merch was nice actually. I
yeah,
gotta say, the Cardi
there
merch
was
was
some
good.
stuff. Yeah.
um And so yeah, but I will say with Cardi, I was excited to hear Type Shit live, because We Don't Trust You. I love that project, and that's probably my favorite song on it. Uh, and that rendition they did live with this sort of like guitar kind of work, with it, I thought it was just absolutely like fantastic. And I don't know, I just thought it was just a great moment. The version of Timeless they did with like with the guitar also was cool.
That was the other one that I liked a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say also the performance of like Wheezy was really good actually. Because that's one of the few songs on music that like I do like. Because again, I don't know what it is. Like it's not that I'm not saying it's bad music. Like I'm not saying that. If I thought it was bad,
No,
I would
it's
just
not
say it.
bad. He's
But
definitely
like
talented. I just don't.
there's something just about Whole Lotta Red that's the only thing he's done I can really get into a lot.
Yeah.
Because of music, I've there's a few songs like good credit but like that's because of Kendrick, you know. So
Oh yeah.
it's like Crush is like cool. I just love how grand it is, and then like Weezy is cool too. But for some reason, not even like I don't know, nothing else like I can really get into on it
Yeah.
in honesty. But I will say like that part was cool too. I think that set was a little bit shortened just by one song, if I remember correct, because I think he usually was not doing 8 songs, I think, and ours was only 7. But he did come on around like 8, like 30-ish. Robert Lie, I'm gonna be honest with you. I really, really liked that song a lot. During I think it was at Rolling Loud. I think it was in
Yeah.
December. I think it was. I forget whenever he did that like performance at what festival it was. I really liked it, but something about the studio version, like the city quality version of it, like I can't get like into it nearly as much as when like he just played it straight up live, which I find really weird because he literally just basically played the song like over like the speakers basically.
Yeah.
So it might have just been just the way it's maybe mixed. I don't really know. But that song's like it's not bad. I just like I don't like go back to it really in all honesty. Especially over the Timeless, because I don't care what you say, Kevin. I fucking love Timeless. Because one of the things I will say is the performance of Timeless during Abel's set, bro.
Oh yeah.
Bro, Cardi killed that shit. He
Yeah.
killed that shit. Like I will like I was like, dude, this it was amazing. But yeah, no, I thought it was
He
fine.
was very good. I actually do think he was a little bit better on Abel's set than like his actual set.
Yeah, because I don't think he had a backing track at all
No,
during
he
at
didn't.
least Timeless.
Yeah.
And I was like he did a really good job. And which is cool to see because like I've never like had like too much of like a personal issue with like how Cardi's performance because like I said, Whole Lotta Red, that was the era I was into him, and like that was the one where he was really going crazy with like the screaming and like the noises and like just like all the like
I don't know. He
the
was
whole
going a
yeah.
little crazy during this one too. So
But not like Whole Lotta Red era, Kevin. That shit was like
bro was like
insane.
every other word.
Yeah, no, but like that's the thing. Like, I've never had too much of an issue with it. I just personally was like feeling like I just don't know if he works as like an opener for like the weekend because they're so different.
I agree.
But like, but I thought it was fine in all honesty, and like and I'm glad that I enjoyed it at least a little bit at parts. Like the type shit performance was awesome,
Oh yeah,
especially.
that was the highlight. That was the highlight.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah,
Definitely.
no, Timeless was awesome
Oh
live.
yeah.
Yeah. I will say their chemistry is actually pretty decent.
I think that's why I preferred him during Abel's set than like him alone because I thought when they came together it was like okay I'm actually kind of liking this now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because I remember doing the Sao Paulo performance. That performance of Fiend and Until I Bleed Out is incredible. Absolutely
Oh,
amazing. But that Timeless performance is like not very that's not a very good performance of that song in my opinion. And so like seeing it now live like so many months later where it was incredible and they were both on point, I was like it was impressive. So
yeah.
I liked also like the use of like lighting also for Cardi's set because it was when the sun was really starting to go down.
Yeah.
And it was very like aggressive and intense.
A lot of flashing lights. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I like that kind of stuff. I can't lie.
Yeah, that was cool.
And so yeah, no, it was cool. It was fine.
I don't
I
know.
don't.
The hype man was the highlight. He did like that. Nobody had as
Awesome.
much
Yeah.
energy as that guy.
Dude, his hype men are awesome, bro.
Oh yeah.
I will give it that. And so it was fine. Yeah. But Kevin, I got it right here. The set list. Let's get into it. Okay.
We're gonna be here for a bit. But yeah.
Okay, do you want to go song by song, or do you kind of prefer just go all over the place? It's up to you, in all honesty.
we can do so. There's a lot to talk about, so I feel
Yeah,
like
we have like 42 songs to talk about, I believe. So yeah.
if I don't have much to say about one, we can just skip it.
Yeah, no. So Mike Dean, like his just like his work and stuff, dude, like is so like just like inspiring, like to me.
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of early like electronic synth type works from like the 70s and 80s, but he's like now like but he's kind of like modernizing it with like trap influences a little bit, or just sort of like a like IDM kind of in like 90s inspired feel. I'm sorry, I am so sick still.
I can't tell.
And it's really good. You know what? You talk for a second about the Weeknd set while I drink water, because holy fuck.
Yeah, well, I'll talk a bit. I'll go into Mike Dean first, and then I'll talk about the Weeknd. I feel like at this point, like Mike Dean is also like such a distinctive sound. Like you can really tell when he's the person doing the, composing the music and things like that. And I think he, that was something that you really got to see here. I think that's why also it stuck out more to me here, because it feels like now like he's really like honed his craft and kind of become like the best version of himself, like composer wise. And you definitely saw that here. But yeah, Weekend. Let's get into that.
Yeah, no, yeah,
Will,
I'm gonna say it, bro. Like Mike Dean has been fantastic for like years and years and years, like decades. But like recently, like I feel like he's been like getting to like another level when it comes to like his songwriting,
yeah,
and also his like mixing and mastering. In my opinion, because my only real complaint I ever had with Mike Dean is when I used to be a massive Ye fan. Like Ye used to be like my favorite artist. I always thought
how'd that go?
I'm very good. But some of the mixing, and stuff like that. I know he wasn't. I don't think he was quite as involved until like a little later on. But like I didn't think it was like amazing at points in all honesty on some of that Ye work. Like my Justice Fantasy is like, listen, like I don't support Ye anymore. I think everyone knows why. That album is still a masterpiece.
It's
And
very
the
unfortunate.
the
Yeah.
only thing though about that album is like it doesn't like it's not a massive issue because of how good the freaking music is. Like it just kind of it's one of those few instances where just like it overshadows it. The mixing on that album though is not very good in my opinion. And that's something that a lot of people have kind of talked about over the years. And I don't know if he how involved he was with mixing on that because I think he didn't get so involved with the mixing until I think like I know Donda he was really involved with that. So I think it was like a little like later on. But like just recently like his mixing and stuff like that. Like I think especially when he started working with Travis Scott, it's gotten like super freaking impressive and good. I know a lot of people are not into how he mixes and masters, but I'm personally pretty into it. And so yeah, and no, the set was loud. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was cool. And so yeah,
I
so
was wearing AirPods during his portion, and it was by far the loudest. Like I didn't even wear them during Abel's set, but like for
yeah, I will
the
say the loudest moment of the entire night was Blinding Lights.
oh yeah,
That was loud. Like I don't
yeah,
know, like that was pretty crazy. Because I wore earplugs for Mike Dean, played by Cardi, but then I just took them off for Abel. I was
oh
like, you
yeah,
know what? I usually don't do that, but I was like, I'm just gonna just let it
I
happen
didn't
tonight.
care. Yeah.
Which is not a great idea. Don't do that usually because you could damage your hearing pretty badly. But I was decided to be stupid. And so yeah. Now let's talk about this set
Yes.
list. Okay. So
Oh, one more thing I do want to talk about though before we do
yes.
get into the set list is just the difference in energy from After Hours to this concert. Not to say that he didn't have it in the other concert, but it very much did feel like he was still at that point where like he was still figuring out how to perform some of these songs live, and he was still like kind of figuring out like, what he really that was before everything happened in LA and things like that. So he was still kind of in that phase. Whereas it did feel like he was holding himself back a bit. This time around, I mean, this is the most alive, the most like excited, the most just like joyful version of Abel that I've really ever seen, and I loved every second of it. And I absolutely think a lot of that is due to our crowd because like this like our crowd like literally like Abel would be doing nothing and people would just start going Abel and it was just
Mm-hmm.
such an infectious feeling the entire night. It just felt like we were all there to like just celebrate someone that like we've listened to for years, and this is like really like that one last hurrah. It really did feel less like a concert and more just like an overall celebration of his music. And I think that the spirit of the crowd and also like just his overall demeanor just really helped play into that. It made it so much more exciting. And I think it was just really great to see. I just really love like seeing him like go into the audience and things like that, and just
Mm-hmm.
seeing like his like genuine reaction to everything. It was just he just felt so much more relaxed and excited. And again, not to say he wasn't in the last one, but it just felt like here, like he just really just kind of took it all in, and it was just so amazing to watch. So I think that's also why for me I prefer this concert over the last one, just from energy alone.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Especially because like this is something I don't think we talked about this publicly very much, but uh like obviously I think we just were around like a bad group of people. When we went to MetLife, the girls behind us were really sweet. Because like I accidentally like hit like the girl behind me like hand like one time we were just like,
Yeah.
having fun or whatever. And I felt really bad about it, but she was so sweet and I apologized to her. But everybody else around us was so rude,
Yeah.
so freaking rude, especially to you, bro.
Yeah.
And like it really like upset me a lot. And so this time around, like the crowd was like really, I mean, when I went to July 2022, it was nice and like I talked to people there and it was fine. But like this time around, it was like the vibe and the energy from the crowd was just like it just was like more fun, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And like seeing like Abel feed off of that and stuff like that, and like get the energy from that, especially during one of the girls, which Kevin, we gotta get into that, Kevin, because like I don't like the idol either, but that's one of the girls, bro. That's not go crazy.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later. Um, so
It wasn't
Stylist
family,
time.
so I wasn't. No, I'm
That's
kidding.
valid. That's valid. That's valid. But okay, Stylist time. First up, The Abyss.
Yes.
What did you think of how we opened up with that, and what do you think of that version of the song?
Yeah, so I thought it was an interesting song to start off with. I would have thought he would have just done what he did in the Hurry Up Tomorrow movie and just start with Wake Me Up. But I thought it was really great the way he started it off. You really felt the sort of like mysticism that song had, and you really felt it throughout the entire thing. I thought the way it took so long for him to also come on, I thought was really cool. The way he did a lot with the cult dancers and like the last one, but I felt like he incorporated them even more here, and this was like a really good example of that. So I was definitely a big fan of how he started off with that one.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I just loved how like all the dancers came on and got this for like formation, and then
Oh,
like
yeah.
he like came up from behind and like entered through like the crowd of them and like stood up
Yeah.
front. Um, and I thought that was like super super cool and like such a like grandiose like sort of like statement kind of way to like begin the
Yes.
show. And I thought it was just so cool. And I love The Abyss. That's an incredible song.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know, I just thought that it was just so cool, and I just love like the little intro it has, and the use of piano was so gorgeous in that one. And I just love like the way that like they have like the little drum kicks come in before like it goes to the
Yeah.
full like chorus, like that whole part. Um, and like he so my only like real thing about the show I noticed is that I feel like Abel started to get really comfortable around like Starboy, I would say, in the set list. And so like I kind of like felt kind of like bad because I just thought I thought he was just like nervous or something like that. And so like I
The
kind of
crowd
like
certainly helped with that.
that's the thing, you know, I kind of felt a little
I
bit
think that
bad
quelled
just
that immediately.
yeah, just because like he was like a little like he didn't have like the most like it's a live performance and like I like seeing it all live and knowing it's
It was a
live, but
little
like the
stiff. Yeah, I
the
agree.
the the, the, the control like wasn't there like 100%
Yeah.
yet. And so I was like, okay, like I'm kind of interested in seeing like like throughout like the set more how he kind of like develops and develops, because like I mentioned this like a few times and stuff like that. Is that when I saw him at Gillette 22, I thought he sounded a lot better vocally than he did at MetLife.
Yeah.
And so I always am just like interested in just seeing just like how like the energy and like the crowd and just like the comfortability with it's all performers and stuff like that. And I always find that kind of interesting. And so that was great. I do kind of miss that like how it used to do without a warning and then wake me up and then after hours. But the way without a warning is used in this set list is so fucking good.
Oh, yeah.
That we'll get to that in a second. Um, Wake Me Up.
And
This
by
is
a
a
second, it's like
very
an hour.
probably yeah. Wake Me Up. This is a very different version of Wake Me
Yeah.
Up, actually.
Yeah.
I remember when I first heard because I listened to a few live performances of just The Abyss and Wake Me Up before the concert only. So really because my friend Ali showed me videos of her when she went to the first show in Phoenix. And so I was like, you know what, I'll look up some videos of whatever. I remember when I first heard it, I didn't like it. in all honesty. Now I think it's like amazing.
Yeah.
Like I really like the new like intro to it, and then I love like just how it has a bit more of like the bass line and like the little like the keys are kind of different in this version too. Just different uses of like harmonies, and it's a different key entirely, like the whole song now. And I think it's like awesome. What do you think though?
Yeah, I mean, look, I've thought the praises of Wake Me Up before. I think personally
Yeah.
it's my favorite opening track he's ever done. And this just further solidified it for me. Yes, he's doing something different here, but that's the other thing we have to talk about is that, like, you can tell he is much more aware of here's where I need to kind of like hold back, here's where I need to kind of like extend my full like vocal capabilities, and here's where I need to pull back. But it didn't feel like he was like, restrained. It felt like this song live down the octave, and I thought it worked really well. I liked the rendition that he did. I felt like, I agree with you, it had a little bit more of a build up to it. Like Wake Me Up has always had this like sort of just grandiose epic feel that like really kicks off the album so well, and I feel like this was very much the case here. I liked I liked the fact that it was a little bit slower. It took a while to get to like the part that we're all expecting. I thought just in general, like I thought it was a fantastic way to start it off. It was pretty much everything I was hoping it would be. I will say, I was kind of hoping that the way that he did it in Hurry Up Tomorrow, like the movie, that's how he would kind of do it here with him like rising out onto the podium or whatever. I thought that would have been kind of cool, but I still really like the way this was put together. And I think again, him doing a different version of it, I thought it made sense, especially from transitioning from The Abyss to Wake Me Up. It felt very smooth, and that's the one thing I will say about this entire show is that the way he transitioned between songs just felt so smoothly done. Like nothing felt like, oh, this is kind of coming on early. Like, it felt like everything was built up to very well here, and I think that this was just really a fantastic version of the song. It was certainly different, but I thought it was a welcome surprise for sure.
Yeah, no, I really liked it. I especially like how you mentioned like the intro of it's like it's a bit like longer, and it goes through different like
Yes.
phases and stuff like that. And then when it gets into like like the second part of the song, like it has like I think some arpeggios that come in that are really pretty. And then
Yeah.
they use also like I think guitar also is a little bit in there, and it's
Oh
really
yeah.
really
That's cool.
really cool. And I really like it also when live versions of songs like do have like a different like style to them, or just a different key
Yeah.
in general, or different just little like kind of like quirks and charms to them. And so yeah, no, I really, really like it. But then, dude, bro, this version of After Hours, though, Kevin, I
Oh
don't
my
think
God.
I have ever liked a live transition from The Weeknd. I maybe Can't Feel My Face, and maybe Secrets into Can't Feel My Face comes a little bit close. But okay, that might be number one still. But Wake Me Up into
Oh,
After
I wish he
Hours.
did Secrets. Oh my God, that would be so
Dude,
great.
that version of Secrets and It Can't Feel My Face during the Starboy era,
Yeah.
unfucking real. That shit still gives me goosebumps, bro. Like it's
Yeah.
amazing. Um, but dude, there's something about the way Camp goes into After Hours, especially when he hits like the vocal highs and the crescendos there, and then like just a little like when it like cuts in and out for like a second or two with like the drums there and just goes into like with those synth lines and everything and just like the melody. It's just so fucking good. I love that song. It's incredible. It is one of the greatest songs like ever. I don't care. I love that song. That shit was
Oh
crazy.
yeah.
I love it
Agreed.
live. I mean, nothing will hit quite as much as when I saw it live for the first time in my life with you. That was one of the most emotional moments of my life. I just was bawling and I was crying for
Yeah.
basically most of the show at that point, as you very well remember. Um, and like makeup was getting in my eyes like that. It was a whole vibe, y'all. As this vibe is as I'm sick still. I am so sorry, everybody. But what do you think of After Hours?
Yeah, I mean, I was not expecting it to appear this early because I remember in the original tour, it was like towards the end, so it was kind of cool to see it a
It was in
lot.
like the middle, yeah.
Yeah, it was cool to see it a lot earlier this time around. And yeah, I thought it worked really well. He didn't do like the whole song, but he did enough of it to where like, okay, we knew it was After Hours. I think this was the first one of many where he like panned to the crowd and had us like sing some of the song for him. And I thought that was
Yeah.
really cool the way he did. Was this after he took off his mask, or did he still have the mask on?
No, he didn't take his mask off until Faith.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll get to that. Because
Mhm.
that was a moment. But yeah, I mean, I've always loved After Hours. I think it's one of his best songs for sure. And this just further reminded me of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no. I'm pretty sure the next song, Starboy, was the first song that he performed the entirety of. I
Yeah.
think so. And I, of
It was kind of
course,
like a medley to like start off.
yeah, and of course, like as a massive Daft Punk fan, just obviously Abel fan, obviously incredible. That's the early and Silas. I love how he does that whole song live. I mean, it's just like it's one of his most iconic songs. Obviously, it's
Yeah.
one of the most popular songs ever. And it's just incredible. And I really really liked it live. But I also really loved how I went into Heartless and then that like outro version of Faith. What did you
Yeah.
think about that?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think you can really kind of see this concert as less of like this is a concert of Hurry Up Tomorrow, and more just like this is an encapsulation of like all of his like greatest moments. And I mean, if you're gonna do that, you got to have Starboy in there. And I thought this was another great performance. I loved it when we saw it, in the first After Hours Till Dawn, and I liked it
Yeah, that was
a
cool.
bunch
Yeah.
here, so it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, no, and Heartless obviously live is great.
Oh,
And then that version of Faith over the outro of Heartless.
yes,
I actually like really really liked it a lot because at first I was a little skeptical because Faith is such an important song in his discography, especially in this trilogy. And so I was a little interested in just being like, oh, we're only getting like the out like a little like outro kind of thing with Faith. But I actually really, really like how he incorporated that, especially because how he took his mask off.
yeah,
Which also he really, really pushed it with the audience in terms of just like waiting to fully take it off. And it was really, really
yeah.
cool.
It was
And
very,
then like
very different this time around. I felt like last time it was like very casual when he took it off. This time around, like it felt like he was waiting for the crowd to just like lose their minds.
yeah, no, it was awesome. And
And
like it
when
was like
that
yeah.
what I was gonna say is like when that happened, that's when you knew, okay, this is gonna be like some hype shit. Like
Oh yeah.
yeah. I feel like that pretty
Absolutely.
much set the tone for what the rest of the concert was going to be. Just
Yeah, mhm.
the just like huge reaction to him taking off his mask. I mean, it was Avengers Endgame, Captain America picking up the shield, picking up the hammer level of like excitement.
Yeah.
Like everyone was like just losing their minds, and it was amazing.
That's a funny comparison. Yeah, no, it was really cool. And it was like a 1 minute ovation, and like the whole time I had like the XO up, bro. It was crazy,
Yeah.
dude. And so yeah, no, it was awesome, man. And then just talking for a bit, but then dude, like just that little like medley he did of like the Dawn FM tracks after that, dude, this new version of Take My Breath with that like synth passages at the beginning. Mike Dean, dog, goes crazy on that. But then also Sacrifice of like the other like the little like bass line, like so good.
Yeah.
And just amazing. And obviously How to Make You Love Me is one of my favorite Weekend songs like ever.
Yeah.
Oh my, I love that song so much. And then it kind of went into a really cool performance. I Can't Feel My Face, which was kind of cool too because last time around, Can't Feel My Face transitioned in the Take My Breath. This time around, like it kind of we had a little slight pause after Can't Feel My Face. It was kind of cool to hear like Can't Feel My Face like live, like kind of end like how it does with Be Behind the Madness,
Yeah.
with like the little like fade out kind of thing with like the little like shout thing. And so that was really really cool. It's cool too like how Make You Love Me where he kind of like went then it's like the runway portion, into like the center with like the cross kind of part with the Sarayama statue, which that I love to
Yeah.
see. I loved how also one thing I say too. I love how like it was all gold and like kind of glittery, like
Yes.
shimmery kind of themed.
Oh
I
yeah,
have
that was something else I don't think we mentioned is that
Mhm.
each act had like their own like color scheme. So like Mike Dean's, I think was blue. I believe Playboy Cardi's was like red and his was gold.
Yeah, no, it was pretty cool. And I just love like just seeing like the differences in each like leg of this tour, and like I just
Yeah.
love the gold like look of it all. Um,
Really
and
like
it
really
was just
like used the entire stage this time. I feel like when we saw him the last time, it was like, you had Kate Renata in this corner of the stage, you had Mike Dean in this corner of the stage, and then you had Abel in this corner of the stage, and he wasn't really like exploring like the full parameters. And I feel like this time he really did.
yeah, no, I like the fact that he was on the main stage a lot more this time.
Yeah.
Because when I
Yeah, he
saw
was like
him
over here, I remember for like most of
for 2022, he
hours.
mainly was just on like, the runway portion. I felt
Yeah.
like for most of it. And which is fine, you know, obviously. But I like how we incorporated more of like the main stage this time
Yeah.
around. And so yeah, no. So that whole part was just like excellent, and just like the
Mm.
vibe and the feeling of it all was just like amazing. But then Kevin, one of the major highlights for me, Lost in the fucking Fire,
Oh
baby.
yeah. Oh yeah, that was
Oh
great.
my god, bro. Okay, I love Gustavo Stein, everyone pronounce it. I love my man Mike. That's my homie, bro. I'm joking. But I love that man. I think he's just incredible.
Look forward
Um,
to Violet Chantal video with Gustavo Stein. It's definitely happening.
Could you imagine? I get like an odd camera interview with him, like in the outfit and everything,
Yeah.
being like, "Hello, I love your music." Um, how did you make Mania and Hard Dreams on your last album? You know, shit like that. I love Gustavo Stein. And listen, Lost in the Fire. I'm keeping
How
it real
did
with
you make a
everybody.
song with Lady Gaga that's so good that I can't listen to the rest of the album
Oh,
because
dude, that
that
song
song
go
is just so
crazy,
good?
bro. That Garden of Eden goes crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Um, but dude, also great work with Charlie XCX, of course. Just
Oh yeah.
amazing producer, amazing producer.
Yes.
But this song I thought I was never gonna hear live. I never thought
Yeah.
I would hear the song live. And it's funny because, like, yes, does this song have some of Abel's worst lyrics? Absolutely, it does. I'll fully admit that. But this song still go fucking crazy. You know, so especially the live version, they started doing in Europe 2 years ago. I was like, I want to hear that live. It's an amazing song, you know, regardless of the fact that, yeah, some of the lyrics are not very good. But still, like, I want to hear it live. And dude,
I fucking
when
do
I
it.
heard that little organ drop, bro, it
Yeah.
was over. I screamed, "Oh my fucking god!" out loud, and you and
Yeah.
our friend Film Fan were like, "What the heck?" And then y'all heard me scream my little harder. I want to fuck you slow with the lights on. You two were like, "Oh, it's this one,
Yeah.
bro." I was ready, dog. Oh my gosh, that was an
And at the end, I remember
amazing
you were
moment.
like, I never thought I'd hear that live.
Because I never thought I would. I
Yeah.
didn't think I ever would. Um, and I was so excited. I was so excited. Especially because I don't know if I'm ever going to see Gustavo Stein live, and I don't think he does this one live anymore. And but I actually like the live version that Abel does more on the one that
Yeah.
Gustavo Stein was doing in 2019. And so yeah, because he entered the Gamma tour. Went to Brooklyn, I think it was. But I didn't go to that show, which I regret doing that. Actually, I wish I would have gone to that. And I think the tour is wrapping up, I think, sometime soon because he's doing some festival dates right now. That's probably gonna be it. But we'll wait and see. And so that was awesome. I just love the way I just love like the use of like how like the drums are in it, the
Yeah.
synchronization of them, it's just amazing. But then, dude, I love how during that, after that, he walks up to the Sarayama statue, looks at it, and as he touches it, it all
Yeah.
goes fucking green, bro. We go to Kissland,
Yeah,
bro.
that was so cool. That was another moment where like you could just feel the crowd's excitement when that happened.
Absolutely, absolutely. It was just amazing. And I love the use of guitar in that. It was great. And then of course going into Often, which I love that song. I love that song live. I love the feel and energy
Oh
of it. And it was just like fantastic. And I think Last Part of Kiss and Often makes a lot of sense to like putting those into the set list, and the flow of them I think was really good.
yeah, yeah. I think the way that he kept incorporating like older stuff. Not that it didn't work in the other concert. It just kind of felt like more like, oh, these are here because they have to be here. Here, it just felt like, again, this is just a more natural sort of flow. And I really like the way it was put together.
Absolutely, absolutely. But then one of the most exciting parts for us, is our seats are in the lower hundreds, like row seven. But we were right like in like the middle kind of the stage,
Yeah.
right where like one of the parts of the cross comes out to,
Yes.
and he walked out right there for the next two songs, which was Give It Up on Me. And then we got back with my man Gustavo with that I Was Never There, bro. And that combo,
Oh my
bro,
god.
was awesome, bro. Giving
Yeah.
Up on Me is one of the best songs I think Abel's ever made. I think that song is incredible. It's one of my favorite songs, Story of Tomorrow.
Oh
I
yeah.
was very surprised when I found he was doing that one live after the Phoenix show.
Yeah, I didn't
Um,
expect me that one at all.
no, I thought he was gonna do like a little bit of like maybe the second part, maybe either the
Yeah.
first part. I didn't think he was gonna do. Just because it's such like a heavy song, you know? But I was so pleasantly surprised when I got out of the set list. And so like just being like so close for that part especially was amazing. And yeah, no, that song is just incredible and live, it's fantastic. And then like the way it transitions to I Was Never There was excellent. I love that performance. I Was Never There, and he like always vocally just absolutely kills that one. And just, like the way that he like holds notes for that one, especially live, is so
Oh,
goddamn impressive. And you can tell how much he loves that song. I mean, like that is never one of his
and that's
best
one of the few
songs.
he's
So.
not singing down the octave either. Like yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's fantastic. And then the way that it goes up to the like kind of like that like sort of like middle transition portion good up on me and with that like that sample and then like looping and looping and looping. And I knew the hills was next, bro, but then when it finally hit the hills and
Oh
all
my
the freaking
god. Yeah.
fire
It was
pyro went off,
amazing.
bro, I was like, bro, I feel like a fish stick in SpongeBob right now, and it's
Yeah.
amazing, bro. Dude, it was incredible.
And like you like even if you weren't like that close to the fire, you felt like you literally felt like you were like you could like touch the fire. Like it was
Yeah,
so good.
yeah.
Like it was like the
Mhm.
set design for that was just incredible because you really felt the like literally felt the flames like during that song. And I believe he did that the last time, but here again, it just felt more like
It did, yeah.
theatrical here.
Yeah, the last time I did Fire Pyro for the Hills and Party Monster.
Yeah.
And it was a lot more intense here actually.
Oh yeah.
And
I don't
it
remember
was
feeling the flames like I did this time.
to me it was kind of similar. But I will say though, I mean nothing will compare to 2022 where I was second row at Gillette. That was crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah.
But the Fire Pyro was so crazy though. Because you could see like the smoke in the air, and I was like, that's really bad for the environment, but also like it's kind of crazy. Like the fire was like that intense pyro wise.
Yeah.
And obviously the Hills live was amazing. Especially in a freaking stadium. It's crazy. And so
Oh, yeah.
obviously it's an amazing song. That's the song that made me become a fan of The Weeknd, you know, in a lot of ways. That song, I'll never forget hearing that song on the radio in 2015 and being like, wow, I've never heard music like this ever before in my life. And so The Hills has a special place in my heart for that. And
Yeah,
that's always,
Inside the Madness used to be my favorite Weekend album. Now it's Hurry Up Tomorrow, but it's always going to have like a
okay. I didn't know that you liked Hurry Up Tomorrow more than Behind the Madness. Since when? You never told me this.
I mean, I'm kind of back and forth between both of them, but I think as a body of work, I would probably go Hurry Up Tomorrow.
Okay, that's pretty. Yeah, I never thought Behind the Madness would be top for you. In all honesty, that's cool though. That's cool. That's cool. So yeah. And then I think was that the? I think that was the last Behind the Madness song. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Which
He
is
didn't
kind
do
of a
it fun.
bummer.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. But then, obviously, one of the best parts of the whole entire set was Baptized in Fear and Open Hearts.
Oh my god, this was maybe the highlight of the entire show for me.
Dude, Baptized in Fear live, especially the use of drums and that when my man Ricky Lewis on the fucking sticks, that man is amazing, bro. Like I love the whole live band, but like I love Ricky Lewis on his drumming on that was so fucking good, bro. And yeah, no, and of course the transition to Open Hearts, which is like, I mean, they're both incredible masterpieces of songs. And
Open
just the
Hearts
emotion
is one
there.
of the best songs he's ever done.
Yeah, I agree. It was just amazing. What did you think though? I want you to go more into this one because I think you have more just like opinions probably overall because of how like much of a highlight it was for you.
Oh yeah, I mean, one of the greatest transitions in general that the Weeknd has ever done is Baptized in Fear into Open Hearts, and just getting to see that live, knowing that Open Hearts was coming, but then also getting the full experience of Baptized in Fear. It was just incredible to watch, and it was by far one of the highlights of the entire show for me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was just like fantastic. And just like the emotion there, with it was just so you just felt it so heavily. And it was just like a beautiful moment. And the use of like lights and stuff also during Open Hearts was like so fantastic. And just going from like more of like an intimate moment. With Baptized in Fear, just something just so grand and like powerful and moving with Open Hearts. It was really awesome. And so yeah. And then After that, we go into Cry for. It was actually kind of good. We go from Cry for Me, then I Can't Fucking Sing, then Stop Hollow, then Until We're Skin and Bones.
Yeah.
Which that was a really cool sort of like group of songs there. Cry for Me live was really cool because he was like Boston, like would you like cry for me, this and that, and they did like a lot of
Yeah.
Cry for Me. But then like when a little bit Can't Fucking Sing, and then Stop Hollow live,
Oh my God.
bro.
Only thing I will say is that you did not get to hear Anita's vocals, and it felt like we were missing that.
You heard them a little bit near the
Towards the
end.
end. Towards the
Yeah, but dude, the fire pyro during that
Yeah.
was sick, dude. It was
Yeah.
so good. And then, but dude, one of the actual highlights was Until We're Skin and Bones. Hearing that performed live in a stadium was insane.
Yeah,
It
it was
was
so loud.
so cool. I
Yeah.
was like, this is awesome as fuck. Do you have any thoughts on like that whole portion?
Yeah, I mean, I think just the way he like transitioned through them like so smoothly like that, and even used "I Can't Fucking Sing" and "Until We're Skin and Bones," I thought was really cool.
Yeah, no, it was so sick. Yeah, just an amazing moment there. I just saw Apollo especially live. Like that song goes so crazy, and hearing that live, it's just awesome. And I love how he does it live. But then one of the highlights of the night for me, I don't know how it is for you, the performance of Timeless of Cardi was amazing. It
Yeah.
was so good because like they add this like guitar like harmony kind of thing onto like the melody of it, and the way that like Cardi was just like rapping, and there's like the chemistry between him and Abel, and
Yeah.
then just like it just like Abel's like use of like, even harmonies himself before he comes in with his own like verse. Like it was so goddamn good and infectious. Like it was such, and I love that song. I think it's an amazing song, and like like I really liked it, but I love that song now. Um, and I thought it was just an incredible moment, and like Cardi did a great job. Abel killed it also. And just band wise, it was amazing. And I just love this like version of it, and just the use of guitar on it was just so great, especially. And then Rather Lie was cool. That's probably my least favorite performance of the night, in all honesty. But it was cool still. And Cardi did his thing. And so yeah, what did you think of that moment where he brought Cardi out and stuff like that?
This is probably the most I've liked Timeless, to be honest with you. I thought their chemistry really elevated it for me. The two of them just look like they work so well together. I know you mentioned before that like Cardi was a little rusty in like the first couple performances, and I feel like they've really like improved upon it, and you really did feel that here. Like you just felt like these two guys just really understand each other musically, and they work really well together, and they fed off each other very well. I really enjoyed their back and forth between both songs, and I think while I wasn't crazy about Cardi's set, Cardi coming out with The Weeknd, I think showcased him a little bit better. So I really enjoyed it a lot. Timeless, like I said, it's still my least favorite off Hurry Up Tomorrow, but this is probably the most I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I thought it was fantastic. Just the energy in the crowd too. It was just fantastic. Yeah. Oh God, I am. We're doing this, Kevin. We got this. We got this.
We still have like
coughing.
20 more songs to go, but yes.
Oh gosh, yeah, kind of in a way, yeah, we kind of do. My coughing now will not get the best of me. Yeah, but then one of my absolute favorite parts of the night. Well, actually, one thing about Timeless, I thought it was pretty funny. How with you and our friend Film Fan, when Exotat over body, I just like pointed to this, and they were like Violet. I was like, that's true, and so it was cool. Now one of the best parts of the night was when Abel said like, "Do like where are the ladies in the house tonight?" And then
There
you
we go.
just pointed to me, and I was like, that was very euphoric. I appreciate that. I haven't ever told that to you, dude. I appreciate that. But then he went into this like little portion where he did Creepin', Niagara Falls, and One of the Girls. Bro, I was levitating. Oh my goodness. Listen, Creepin' live was
this is
so
probably
awesome.
this was probably the highlight in terms of us seeing the show together for me. Because like your reaction, especially like, oh my God, did he bring Niagara Falls back? Oh my God, wait, this is Niagara Falls. Oh my God, what's happening? It was just, it was amazing.
Oh my God, you don't even want to
And look, I
know.
love Niagara Falls, but like I don't think no one loves Niagara Falls as much as you do, and I just really felt that moment for you.
Oh my goodness. And also hello, thank you for tuning in and watching live, and
Hello,
everyone else who's watching
yes,
live. But Creepin' Live was awesome. That was one of the only song really on the set list before I went in, because I knew the set list, beforehand. Besides if he was gonna add Niagara Falls or not. Because
yes,
he removed it from night 2 and 3 at MetLife. And I was like, no! I was like,
yeah,
Abel, no!
yeah. And you were
And
like fully
so
expecting it to not be there too. So
I kind of wasn't, in all honesty. And so, but Creepin' Live was great. Creepin' was one of the few songs, like I think the one of the song that I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna put the one live. Because I like Creepin'. But I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it fully live, but it was really cool
it
live, and
was,
with the
yeah, I
slow
like
little
it.
build up to it. And I don't know, it was just really, really great. But then, bro, when I heard that melody come in for Niagara Falls, listen, I'm not gonna get you and Film Fan know why I love that song so much.
Oh
We're
yeah,
gonna keep that between us. That's it. We'll keep that between us, bro.
it's a very
I
interesting take of that song. That's all we'll say.
I fucking love that song so goddamn much. That is, I adore that fucking song so much. Like that is probably the one on the re-listens that I is really like, because I liked it a lot when I first
Yeah,
heard it. But that one on Relit, like I was like, oh fuck yeah, dude. I
it
and just
does.
hearing it.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
will say it does lose a little bit for me that we don't get to hear "Take Me Back to LA" immediately following it, because similar to like "Baptized in Fear" and "Open Hearts," you got to play those two back to back. You got to do Niagara Falls and "Take Me Back to LA" back to back as well. So it feels kind of weird to not have that there. I get why,
Well,
obviously,
actually,
but like you know,
it's interesting you just say that, because yes, I have heard about this. I'm pretty sure he'll take back to LA at all. I think 4 nights at SoFi, which is crazy.
yeah,
Um that's pretty impressive.
that's what
And
happened last time. Yeah,
Yeah, no, because I think Take It Back to LA is like one of like the top, like if I had to rank them, probably top 3 best songs in the album, in all honesty.
yeah,
But that one I feel like really should only be performed in LA at this point, to be honest with you. And like, I don't think I need to explain why. Especially because all the proceeds, a lot of people don't, I believe, know this, but all the proceeds from that song are being donated directly to like the wildfire, like, relief funds.
oh yeah.
I believe I remember reading that a few times. If I am by any chance wrong on that, someone definitely correct me, let me know. But I'm pretty sure. So I just think I think it's proper. I think that's like the most just like emotional thing to do. And like I love that song, but like I think that's amazing that like the Los Angeles community and like like Inglewood community and just like just like just so many like other communities around Los Angeles can come together at SoFi, and just like have that moment. And so like that. So I'm pretty sure he's gonna have that, of course. But and so I get it, but I just love Niagara Falls just so much, and the performance of it was so good. And then when I had like the little like waterfall like imagery on the screen, bro, and
Yeah, it
those,
was really cool.
I was like, yee! I love that song so much, and I appreciate you and Film Fan for appreciating the moment with me and being like, oh, Violet. Because, dude, when we heard those vocal chops come in that little sample, YouTube looked at me and went, "Oh!" And I was like,
Yeah,
"Bro, oh my God, I am struggling so much right now. I cannot even lie." But we're gonna keep going.
she
We're
was just
persevering,
that hyped over Niagara Falls coming back that she
bro. I
literally
love
like
that song,
yeah. She
bro.
she she literally just made herself sick over the fact that Niagara Falls was back. So
I kind of did, yeah,
that's what
bro. Listen,
happened.
listen. If you know, you know. I'm leaving it at that. And so, yeah. Then, but dude, the way it then though transitioned, dude, into one of the girls with like the little chords and
That was cool.
bro, the stadium. That's when like the biggest like crowd pops I heard all night was when one of the girls started,
Yeah,
because I listen, like we both are together. The Idol, not for us. But the music, a lot of it's pretty good. One of the girls is an amazing song in my opinion.
I really
And
haven't gone back to it, admittedly, aside from like one of the songs. So I think that's why
Mhm.
like I didn't really have that strong of a reaction to it. But I will say, after hearing it live, like I definitely do want to listen to it more.
Yeah, no, I love that song. And then of course I'm pretty sure people have seen the video of it. But from night 1 of Boston, where he had the crowd singing it, because I think he started doing that in MetLife.
Yeah,
And then and so, but it was like So beautiful. And I was singing my little heart out. You know, you and Film Fan were just sitting there being like, we don't know the lyrics that well. And I was
Yeah, I
like,
don't listen
Keep
to this
me
one enough. Sorry.
love. Like I was, it was beautiful. And it was amazing.
Was that the
And
one
so
where he was like going around the audience, like giving them the microphone and things like that?
no, that was out of time.
Oh, okay.
And
We'll get that.
so, yo, if this is true, bro,
Oh my
shout
god.
out, shout out to fucking Los Angeles, bro.
Oh,
That would go
oh
fucking
my god.
insane, dude. I hope he does that for them.
Yeah.
That would be beautiful,
I need to
bro.
see that shit immediately if that's the case.
Oh, dude. Yeah, because he did Dirty Diana at one show on the Europe tour 2 years ago.
Oh wow.
Um okay, actually, you know what might be the weekend's best live transition, Kevin, and you're gonna know why. On the Madness tour in 2015, when he did the transition from Dirty Diana into In the Night.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Bro, generational. And so yeah. And then for me, this is I won't get I'm not getting into why. But this the next song, Sargo Interlude, is the only song I cried during. I was bawling my eyes out, and Film Fan had to like hug me for a second. It was a beautiful moment. It is one of the most emotional moments I've ever had at a concert, in all honesty, especially because like um when I first did this live, I don't know if this is entirely correct because I didn't watch any performances, but I know when he added it, I think he just like takes like a mini break during it and might just
Yeah.
play like the vocals live. But I think he then started to like come out and then sing like, you know, the ending, you know, outro portion of his own vocals. And so for this, like he went back down, backstage. They do like it's the entire song. It's of course only interlude, so it's pretty short. But they do like the Lana Del Rey vocals, and the production is beautiful. But then as Abel starts singing his verse live, he starts slowly like walking back up the stairs onto the main stage, and it was like it's like ingrained in my memory, dude.
Yeah.
Like it's like it was the most like beautiful moment like I've ever seen. Like it just like it meant so much to me in that moment. And like I don't know, it just like I was bawling like my eyes out, and just it just meant like so much to me. And so yeah, do you have any thoughts on like Stargirl interlude? Because like that was just like a beautiful moment, and so yeah.
It was pretty good. I don't really remember it much, but it was fun.
Damn right, damn, god damn, Kevin, you can't do it like that, man. Anyways,
I have to watch it back, but it was great. I'm sure.
yeah, no, that was a beautiful that was the only time during the concert I was crying during. It was great. Shout out to Film Fan for consoling me during it. And so yeah. But then Out of Time was freaking
Oh yeah.
amazing live. Especially because I'm pretty sure people have also seen the video of this. There's a lot of things from night one at Gillette that just went a little viral in the Exo community.
One
But
thing in
dude,
particular, I would imagine probably did during that song.
yeah, dude. I don't know how you. So Kevin didn't see it when it happened for some
Because
reason.
I was looking at you. That's what happened. I was looking at you.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, no, because Film Fan and I were looking at like the screen, and then we just see like a bra like thrown out to Abel, and we both start crying of laughter. And it was hilarious. And then he was
He's
like,
like,
"Let's
put
keep
your
our
clothes
clothes
on.
on." Yeah, no, keep clothes on. I was like, "That's adorable." And it was just that was a great moment. That's of course an amazing song live, and I like how that's the one that he chooses
Yeah.
to do live with like the crowd interactions and stuff like that. But I also thought it was really funny how there was so much time spent on that first side. They go into the other side, you just had to like run through and just
Yeah.
like give everyone like a little like clapping or whatever.
I mean, I think
And
that
then
the person who threw the bra probably threw him off. He was like, all right, I gotta stay here for a bit.
it was so freaking funny.
Oh yeah.
And so and
Definitely one of the highlights of the entire show.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah.
awesome, bro. Feel bad I were dying, bro.
Yeah.
And so yeah, but then, dude, I feel it coming, bro. When I heard those Daft Punk came in, I put the freaking pyramid sign up, bro. I was like, bro, this is the only
Oh,
time
yeah.
I'll ever feel like I'm at a live 2007, bro, because Daft Punk will man, I missed them. And so it was just so beautiful, and it's like extremely similar to 2022 with like Out of Time going into I Feel It Coming, and then also Die for You.
Yeah.
And then is there somewhere someone else. And so I just like I just loved How Last Time I Feel It Coming were. Just jump for quickly, and I'll let you talk for a bit. This version of Die For You is
Yeah.
probably my favorite version of it that he's ever done live, because it's very ambient and melodic at first. But then when it gets to the chorus, and then the full production comes in, and it was beautiful, dude. Like it was so good. And then going in Is There Someone Else was awesome. But I'll let you talk, Maria. Like, do you have any thoughts on like that whole portion and stuff like that?
I mean, I feel it coming is one of the best songs he's ever done. I always love
Mm-hmm.
getting to see it live. I love just the energy. I think he incorporated the dancers for that one too, so I thought that was pretty cool the way he did that. And then yeah, Die For You was very different from how we've ever heard it before, and I agree with
Mm-hmm.
you. I really like this version a lot. I think especially when you're talking about this concert and like the sort of mood he's going for. I think it really worked very well here. I have a very interesting relationship with that song. I used to think it was kind of whatever, and now I think it's like fucking incredible. I don't know what was wrong with me back in the day. I remember I turned to you during that song. I was like, remember when I used to not like this song? So
Crazy,
but
crazy, Kyle. Crazy.
yeah, that's weird. One of the worst takes I've had.
Sure.
Yeah. Now I think it's like a fucking amazing song, and I think this is maybe the best version I've heard of it live. I really would
Yeah.
love for him to find a way to do like a audio recording of this, so like I can have it on like Apple Music. I don't know if he plans to do that. I know he did with Sao Paulo, but like it'd be really cool if he did, because I
I
this version a lot.
I the last date is in San Antonio. I think on September 3rd, I think.
Okay.
It would be pretty cool if he did another live album like he did for
No.
SoFi. Unless he maybe just records again at SoFi or does something. I'm not really
Yeah.
sure what he's gonna do, because that was a great live album, and it would be cool to like kind of like see like another like version of that. Because I was so surprised he didn't do that for the Europe dates.
Yeah.
Like the Wembley Stadium show, like that would have been amazing. Sorry, excuse me. And so yeah, Is There Somewhere Else was really great. Oh my God, I'm struggling out here right now, guys. I can't even laugh. But then Wicked Games, was amazing, and then of course, Call It My Name, bro.
Oh.
Live is it's a different, it's like a different like animal and beast of a song live,
Yeah, it
bro.
really is. It
Like
really is.
it's so goddamn powerful live, and I just and I like the live version of it more than like the studio version, in all honesty. Like
I, I
just
would I would probably agree. I like Call It My Name a lot, but I do think like there's just a more sort of there's a much more powerful feeling when you see it live versus like the actual recording.
the studio version is amazing, but like I just think that like the live version, there's just like a like emotion and like evocativeness to it that like the studio version feels so like heavily focused on like the pain of it, which I love. I think is incredible. And it's so powerful and emotional and moving. But the live version, it just feels just so just like it has a different kind of like poignance to it that I really connect with a lot.
Yeah.
Um, and I think it's just amazing. Um, and then, dude, the morning, dude, we're the dancers come out and stuff also for that. This one was interesting because the Phoenix show, he did the title track at this point. But then he replaced it immediately with the morning, which
Yeah.
is interesting. Um, there's a rumor that he might be bringing back Hurry Up Tomorrow, the title track for the last show in San
I
Antonio.
will. That was the only disappointment for me. I really was hoping we get to hear that live, and
Yeah, no, I
no
totally got
avail.
you on that. And so that's
Instead, I
kind of
saw
interesting. Mhm.
about like 50,000 ads of the movie and how it's on VOD now and how I should watch it on VOD, and then a bunch
Yeah,
of ads about his coffee.
I want to get that coffee so goddamn badly, bro. I think about that every goddamn day. Yeah. But the morning is live is
Yeah.
it's amazing, bro. And then of course going back in this, we have a very similar thing with the last time. You have Save Your Tears, Lesson Zero, and Blinding Lights, which of course were all amazing. It was funny how with Blinding Lights it was like MetLife, where like we just were talking to each other during that whole like 1 minute intro portion to Blinding Lights. But then dude,
Yeah.
when those Simpson drums came in, that was like the loudest night of the whole like the concert. Like
Yeah.
it was so freaking loud at Gillette. and I loved it. But of course, like Less Than Zero, of course, obviously is a freaking masterpiece. And Save Your Tears is
I don't
great.
think I have to say much about any of these because it's pretty much just like the last time. But like,
Yeah.
it just fucking hype, man. Like it's
yeah, and it was hype too for Film Fan because Save Your Tears, Less Than Zero are like their two favorite Weeknd songs. Also like Timeless and Dancing in the Flames is also up there for them. But like, dude, just like that was really hype for them. And so yeah, no. So obviously it was obviously all amazing. But bro, these last 5 tracks, bro, the live version of Without a Warning was perfect.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what it sounded like. I just knew he replaced in heaven with this, which I was a little disappointed by it for first because like I'm a massive Lynch fan.
Yeah.
But I was
really hoping you do that too.
I was hoping to do it too, but this is a good replacement. Because this version of Without a Warning is like probably I think my favorite song on Hurry Up Tomorrow, to be honest with you. Okay. If I really had to pick one. And this live version is so emotional and grand. And like just how he uses like the crowd, like like Boston Foxborough will scream my name, Gillette will scream my name, like and then like with the dancers going in and like the like the doors like closing in on him and him just looking. Yeah. It was so profoundly gorgeous and beautiful and haunting, and it was just like the it had this like opera feel to it. It felt like a fucking opera, bro.
It really did.
It was so good.
It was very, very cathartic too, like for the story that he's trying to tell.
Absolutely. It was fantastic. That song is just such a perfect fucking song. It is so goddamn good. And
at that point you think it's over, and then he comes out and he's like, Boston, you're not fucking going anywhere.
It was so funny because we had a couple walking by us. And one of them, she was like, "Nope, I'm leaving," and I was like, "Hey, you go have fun going home. I'm staying right here."
Yeah.
Especially
you missed out on some really cool stuff towards the end, but
you and I gotta talk about one thing specific. We really got you know what we're talking about.
Oh yeah.
Reflections Laughing Live was so goddamn incredible. That song is, I think, the most underrated song on Hurry Up Tomorrow, to be honest with you. It is so goddamn good. And
Travis Scott not being there does lose it a little bit for me, but it was still really good.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. But like the use of guitars and also the imagery on screen of all the like different like reflections of him, and it was so beautiful to look at. And it just like it was just amazing, and it just had such like a power to it, and like just sort of just like I don't know how to describe it. It just was very like like this whole like encore thing was just very euphoric, bro. That's I think a good way to describe it. Because then, dude,
and I will say, I remember when we saw the first show, we were like, "That's it. There's not going to be anything else." Like we thought maybe there was going to be.
It's the only tour I think I would have to go back to his original 2012 tour and the Kissland tour, but I am pretty sure there's also only two after our Salon tour was like the only tour he's never done an encore for. Because this to me, I technically count this as an encore, to be honest with you. Like I kind of do.
It's an encore.
Yeah, I would say it is.
He literally like there's a good like solid 2 to 3 minutes where you think it's done, and then he just comes back out. So
yeah, it kind of cry for like 30 seconds or so, or like 20 seconds. And so yeah. But then, dude, again, some songs that I find here live. We'll get to one especially in a second, but for this.
Yeah.
Oh my god, bro. Dude, I threw up that EXO so goddamn quickly, bro. And the people around us like were like, "Oh my god, bro." Like it was so good. And then, dude, like I'm just gonna jump into this because I love High for this, dude.
Oh yeah. It was great.
The Weeknd song I have wanted to hear the most live, besides In the Night, is probably House of Balloons.
Yeah.
Dude, when I found out he had that to the set list a few shows before this, I screamed.
I forgot. I had forgotten that was there. Yeah.
I fucking screamed my little heart out, bro. I was like, no fucking way, bro. When that shit dropped, bro, I did not care. We were in the stadium at that point, bro. I started a mini mosh pit between me, you, and Film Fan, bro. I don't care. I just was like, Bro. And then when he said something like, yo, he said like, Boston, you better scream this shit. The way that I was louder than Abel when I was like, been on and never I screamed it. Like screamed it. Like, bro, hypest moment ever, bro, in my fucking life.
Was
Oh
amazing.
my god, that was a beautiful. The definition of beauty right there was House of Balloons live at a goddamn stadium.
Look it up
What
on
did
Google.
you?
And look up beauty. That's what would come up.
Literally, the beauty behind the madness is Violet Angel
It's trilogy.
Chantal
Yeah.
hearing House of Balloons at Gillette Stadium on June 10th. Oh my gosh.
And
What
losing
did
her
what did you
absolute
think
shit
though?
over it.
Yeah, what did you think though of High for this House of Balloons and that like little like House of Balloons part? You know,
Yeah, like I said, I had forgotten that this is how it ended. I thought we were going to get Reflections laughing, and that was it. So I was like ready for it to come to an end, and then I heard You Don't Know What's in Store. I'm like, oh, okay, let's fucking go.
We going all the way back now, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my god, to where it
Which
began.
I guess I should have expected because the way the album ends also starts with Hype for this. So like it made sense for him to incorporate there. But then getting to hear House of Balloons live was just like otherworldly. Like it's one of those things where like he hasn't done it in such a long time. You would not have expected him to do it here. And the fact that he did, it was just incredible. It was easily one of the highlights of the entire show.
Absolutely. Also, I want to get to these comments quickly. So I'm going to TikTok today because we see. That's true. That's actually a really good point. That actually would be a really good transition. Actually, that'd be actually really pretty.
Yeah.
And so yeah, and then when there's so interesting. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, 6th of May. What? Because my friend Ali went to that show. I forgot what date it was.
What was he was rehearsing something as we were like on our way to, like as we were
when we were walking when we were going past security next to the line, he was doing a sound check with a Cry for Me.
That's what it was.
Sorry, excuse me. And so yeah, but then the last one of the night, Moth to a Flame. Bro, I never want to find Never Hear Live, bro. But then of course he's just been ending it at all his sets since like the European leg of the tour.
Yeah.
It's an amazing song to end it on. I think it's one of his best features still. I love Swedish House Mafia. Everyone knows how I feel about that song. I made a whole freaking long video on it. It's amazing. But what did you think about it closing out? Because I personally loved it and I thought it was amazing. And then like the intense like strobing lights at the end as he walked off stage and just was soaking it all in. Like it was just so beautiful. Of course, it kind of sucks when you get the fireworks how MetLife did, but you can't do fireworks in Massachusetts. Like shows like that. I don't know why. But it was amazing, and it was an amazing way to end the night in such like a beautiful, euphoric way. And I just felt like so like at peace in that moment and so in harmony with like everything. And but what did you think?
It was fantastic. I mean, when I heard he was ending with Moth to a Flame, I was like, that's kind of a weird. I wouldn't have expected that to be like the last song. I would have thought, you know, he would do either Blinding Lights or just end with Without a Warning. That would have made a little bit more sense to me. But getting to hear it live, it makes a lot of sense. It really has that feel of like, okay, this is like, you know, the one last close. This is like the one last thing I haven't done yet. I thought, like you said, the strobe lights and that I thought that was incorporated really well. And again, just I got to go back to just the energy, the excitement that was elicited throughout this entire show. But like, especially this last performance, you really just felt like he was just giving it his all here and just really pouring his heart and soul into every single thing that he was doing. And I thought this was just a great way to end things off. I honestly have not listened to Moth to a Flame that much. And then leading up to this concert, listening to it a lot more, recently listening to it a lot more. It's a great fucking song, and I definitely think it's a really good one to end with. And I think also, I think a lot of people are going to be in the same boat where like they have not heard that song as much, and I feel like this is kind of end it off where it's like it's the one you're going to remember the most because it's the last one you heard, and it's going to give you that urgency to like want to listen to it again. So I actually think it's a pretty genius move to end things off with that.
You know, it's amazing. And then what do you think Lego 2 look like? What song do you want to see here? So this is my only thing
Angel.
that I don't
Never
know
gonna happen, but Angel.
Bro, Violet, Angel, Chantal would love to hear Angel live.
My favorite Weeknd.
That's one of your best opinions, Kevin. That's a great opinion, bro. I would dap you up if I could. And I don't like dap people up, but I would dap you up if I could.
There's not many of them out there, but that is one of them.
Bro,
don't get too used to it.
That's true. I'll try my best. But I don't know.
Die from whatever.
Yeah, but bro, I'm struggling. So this concert got me sick, bro. But I got it was worth it, of course. It was able.
Yeah.
But I've been sick for almost 2 weeks now, y'all, and I want this shit to end, bro. That's because Death Stranding 2 comes out tomorrow, and I will be doing some videos on that. And I don't want to be coughing
And
the whole
you're trying to not feel like death as you're
time.
playing it, so.
Oh my god, bro! You don't even want to know, bro. Like I'll be struggling just as much as goddamn Norman Reedus, bro. I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'll be like, bro, I'm also tired, Sam. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, but like you, I'm interested in what's gonna happen because like he's teased that he wants to go back to Europe, and do another leg there. But at the same time, during the tour stuff, sorry, the press stuff for Hurry Up Tomorrow, the movie, he was heavily hinting that like this like might be his last time, like this specific leg, like the last time is the weekend. Um, which I don't know. I don't know. I've had a theory about something. I don't know if this is entirely true. I've always had a theory
Yeah.
that he was gonna do the other like continents and like countries that he needs to do another Europe tour. And then would come back to the like very select cities in the States, like maybe like MetLife, SoFi, the Sky Dome. I still call it the Sky Dome, I don't care. Sky Dome, and like
What's it called
maybe
now?
the fuck is it called? I just call it the Sky Dome. I don't know, Toronto. Um, but
Yeah,
um,
this little place in Canada that no one's heard of.
what Kevin? I don't think you know this. In timeless, when he's like fill up the sky, fill up the dome. That's what he's referencing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and maybe like Chicago, like Soldier Field. Maybe I don't know. I'd love Gillette again, of course. But I think he would do like a very like select like one night only things, and like that's how. Then of course I'm going to end in Toronto, and like end the weekend like story there. um and stuff like that. But I don't know if he maybe just is like, listen, like, I want to just be done with the weekend finally, you know? Because I know he's kind of talked about like brainstorming what they're entirely gonna do during the Hurry Up Tomorrow press stuff, but I'm pretty sure the weekend name it's done.
Yeah.
You know, we'll see what he exactly goes by. But I interpreted what he was saying more so on the red carpet, where he was like, we're kind of like brainstorming what we want to do right now, what direction we want to go. But I always took that as how they're going to like handle like sort of like letting the public know in an artistic way going from the weekend just to able, not so much like what like the name is gonna be itself, but I could be wrong, of course. But that's kind of how I interpret it personally. So we'll see if he does the number legs. I mean, obviously more legs would be cool and stuff like that. And so yeah, so
I mean, if
yeah,
he
I don't
has
know. I
any,
mean,
if he has
it's whatever he
any,
wants to do, and I'm
yeah,
fine
if
with that,
he
of
is
course.
anywhere near as excited as he was during this, I could definitely see that. But we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. And so yeah, Chicago
Oh wow.
is a place I want to visit at some point.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so shout out to that. And so yeah, so Kevin,
Yes.
I think we should wrap it up here because my voice is clearly still not there. I can't fucking talk. So
Just like he
and
can't fucking sing, you can't fucking talk.
Exactly. I can't fucking talk. I want to thank anyone who watched this live for joining
Yes.
us, and thank you so much. I was doing a live stream with Kevin. We haven't done a live stream since we did the album discussion.
Yeah. No.
I also have not done a video with this like angle and setup since that live stream also. And so that's pretty cool. And so yeah. So do you have any last minute thoughts you want to say? Tag, plug, shout out yourself.
Yeah, as usual, this was a lot of fun. Always enjoy getting to discuss this stuff. Kind of felt like a full circle moment considering we did this in 2022 and, you were at MetLife and then I went to see you this time and, we were with our film fan and things like that. So it was a really fun time getting to do that. But yeah, it's just, it's crazy that this is kind of it. And, whatever happens next, it's gonna basically be like a whole new era for Abel moving forward. I'm really interested to see what that is all going to look like, but I feel like this was the best possible way to close it out. As usual, if you enjoy what you see here, you guys check me over out on my channel. I'm trying to get back into stuff. I haven't been doing great with that, but hey, maybe I'll surprise you in a little bit. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm not trying to hype up anything, but there might be something on the horizon. So look forward to that. You guys can also look for like Letterbox Serialized, trying to be more active on there as well. I'm mainly caught up with logs. I don't really write stuff anymore because it takes fucking 10 years for me to write stuff. So, kind of just logging stuff. So you can check that out. Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff. It's all my link tree. I have a link tree on my Twitter. It's pinned. You can look for all my stuff there. And yeah, go nuts. Thank you for having me on. Always a great time.
Very cool. And so quickly also, dude, Love in the Sky Live would change my life.
Oh, that would be
bro,
great. Yeah.
Bro, just like adaptation, Love in the Sky, that would be
Oh,
freaking...
yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, bro, I've said this for years.
Yeah.
The only song I really, really, really wish she would add live is Belong to the World. Because with the lighting you could do in a stadium, that would go insane live, bro. And so yeah. But Kevin, I will say, listen, for us in our journey, wherever he performs next around us, whenever it is, you and I, we going. So we'll be back at some point in the future talking about Abel, and live. And so yeah. So this was a great stream. Glad we got to talk about it.
Yes.
And so thank you for watching. Thank you for everyone who was dealing with my coughing and stuff. I'm sorry. I was trying to mute my microphone, but sometimes it just happens. But I hopefully did my best. And so yeah, so I'll see everybody.
And we got it done in not even 2 hours. So
this is true. True. I'll see everybody very, very soon. For something that is not Weeknd related, but I already said it, but we're gonna go into the world of Kojima really, really soon. We're gonna do some gaming videos on the channel, everybody. Death Stranding 2 is like my most anticipated thing like ever, even more so than I was for Hurry Up Tomorrow in terms of art. We're fucking back tomorrow, baby. We are ready to keep on keeping on, baby. Here we fucking go.
And then you're gonna do a tier list of all his movie theater reactions, the ones he liked, the ones he didn't like, and kind of dissect all that.
Bro, his review of Captain America: Brave New World is iconic. That was iconic, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. I cannot fucking wait. Yeah, I'll talk more about Death Stranding later on, but just know, y'all, we back. We so back. And then the Ethel Cain stuff is my priority after that. But I gotta prioritize Death Stranding 2 first. And so yeah, so that is that.
We'll get there when it gets there.
It will be happening. Don't worry. We got a whole freaking album from her very soon. So I gotta make sure I get Golden Age and Bread done soon. And so because I also really want to in general. And so yeah, so thank you for watching. Y'all are great. Thank you again to all of my Weeknd viewers, Mixo viewers. I say this a lot, but it's just so overwhelming to me that I have so many people that like just appreciate what I have to give to the EXO fan base and my thoughts on Abel. It just means a lot to me. Never thought I would be in a position like this. And thank you all. And thank you Kevin for joining me. And anyone watching on Kevin's channel. So I'll see y'all later. Have a beautiful night, day, afternoon, whenever the heck you're watching this. Hopefully you are healthy and doing well, unlike me currently.
I was gonna say something better than she's doing right now.
Yeah, because listen, this concert got me sick, but like it's okay. We'll be okay.
Sometimes your favorite artist will do that. You're just so excited that it just makes you sick.
I gotta go take some medicine like immediately. So I will see y'all very soon. And go shout out to Kevin. Alrighty, so with that, we'll see you later and have a good night or whenever you're watching this. Alrighty, bye everybody.
EXO forever, yeah.
Shout out to EXO.